Hi, I'm Dr. Cynthia Clark, acupuncture physician, applied clinical nutritionist, and creator of Energy Evolution. And I want to talk to you about one of the more interesting cases that I've had come in recently. This is sudden onset loss of taste. It's not very common, but it's happened a few times with a few of my clients. So I wanted to talk to you more about it. In both of these cases, there was a stressful external environment, and there was also a significant change inside the home. Sudden onset loss of taste can be caused by neurological factors. It can be caused by an infection on the vagus nerve. It can be caused by congestion of the liver, and it can be caused by chemical sensitivity, heavy metal sensitivity. It can be caused by immune stressors, parasites, fungus, viruses, bacteria, and it can be caused by food sensitivity. So any of these things can affect it. What we found was that, and also changes in medication can also affect it. And so what we found after tracking it down, because these were not easy cases, or at least the first one wasn't easy, the second one got a lot more so, was that we really had to be very thorough, and we definitely had to use the Longevity Wellness 6-step process in order to properly diagnose the root cause of the sudden onset loss of taste. Even though both of these people had the same experience, sudden onset loss of taste, they actually had different causes that caused it. And so because we were diligent to our methods, and because we made sure that we stuck by our rules and we did our full process, we were able to quickly identify what caused it and to provide the appropriate supplements that helps to clear that. The way this happens, like how does something like this happen? That's crazy. Just one day I wake up and I've got no taste. Well, yes and no, sort of. Have you ever played the game Jenga? With the blocks that all stack up on one another, and then the goal is you pull out a block here and you pull out a block here, and you try to make the other person lose by spilling all the blocks all over the place. So the immune system is much the same way. The body is much the same way. When we come into the world, for the most part, usually we're pretty strong, we're pretty upright, and then we get good food, and our Jenga tower is nice and strong. But then things start happening, and over time, like maybe there's an injury, maybe there's a sports injury, maybe there's a stressful situation, death in the family can definitely do it. And what happens is those little Jenga blocks get pulled out one at a time, and it compromises the structural integrity of the Jenga block. And so you're trucking along, you're going along, life just seems fine until you get to the point where that final block, the one that's connected to your taste buds, gets pulled out. And then when that happens, everything topples over. And it topples over in the form of no taste. So what we do is we help to get your Jenga block tower put back into shape. This is also an excellent analogy for thinking of the immune system and the way that the foundation of the body has to be strong and stable and robust in order to be able to do all of the functioning that it needs to do. When block after block after block after block is pulled out, eventually the final block is pulled out, and that's when we get sick, but it's not when we started to get sick. So word for the wise this week is, if you are starting to feel under the weather, if you are starting to feel something weird like sudden onset loss of taste, tell your healthcare provider immediately, tell your holistic healthcare provider immediately, because our medicine works best when we can work on it early. Same with you. If you start to get a sore throat, you probably gargle with salt water right away, because when you catch it in the early phases, it's a lot easier to change the outcome of that. It's kind of just like the way you would talk to a kid, that if the kid starts misbehaving and you correct them right away, then they get it and they know what they're supposed to do, and they're happy to do what they're supposed to do for the most part. But if you wait until they've been doing this for 7 years and then you try to tell them, hey, that's not the way you're supposed to do that, kids get a little grumpy because they've already grown in a certain way and they already have expectations. And it's the exact same thing with your body. Your body has its own way of growing, and by correcting it as quickly as possible, you have the best prognosis for a fast, healthy, quick, natural, highly effective outcome. I hope you have a great day. Thank you very much for paying attention to this and listening to this. Please share it with your friends and families, because information like this, it isn't so common out in the world. And so help yourselves out and share this kind of information. Thank you very much. This is Dr. Cynthia Clark with Longevity Wellness.